Good morning on this Friday, rainy, gloomy Ohio day. It is very, very wet out today. Jeff has laid down for a little bit. Neither one of us slept well last night. Um, I'm trying to be quiet. I do have Presley, and she is the Elliot sculpt by Casey Brace. Her artist was Betsy Thomas at Beautiful Babies by Betsy. She's all cuddled up with her little donkey, and she is in new doll clothes, and that's J at J Dolls UK. It's a little Kate Quinn play suit or romper. It's long sleeved and it's footless. It's got butterfly sleeves or butterfly ruffles around the sleeves, buttons down the front, clear down. And I've got little Kate Quinn booties on her too that matches in the green and the beige. It's a floral and it's in a beige background with various shades of greens and browns. It's really cute. I love it. We are doing hashtag Casual Fun Friday, and that is hosted by Kitty and Toddy at Little Waddle Nursery. And also, I'm going to do my Thankful Friday. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I wanted to show you a book today. I actually was telling Mel about this book last night. This goes back several years. It hit home very, very hard. My mother knew the father of the man that was murdered. She started out when she was young, one of her first jobs. They rode to work together. They worked at the same place. I think that's kind of how she got to know him. And he was married and had two sons. And they lived in Lee's Creek. You can see it's the Danes murders, the innocents lost in Lee's Creek. And it is a true story. I remember this so well. It's by Patrick Haley, and he is now running for our mayor, and I hope he wins because he is a wonderful guy. He was the sheriff in our county when the murders happened. My mom gave me this book for my birthday. It's very, very special, and Pat autographed it, and it's kind of what I want to say. Lisa Danes, and I'm not going to give out her married name. I know her. She's a beautiful person. She's got 4 children, married, has a beautiful home. She was adopted by this family, and she's the only survivor. I highly recommend this book. But what I wanted to say first, I am so thankful that God has blessed me to have my parents so long. I was 61 when my mother passed away, and she had just turned 96. And my father is still kicking. He's 88, and I'm 63 now. So even though I don't have any brothers or sisters, I'm so blessed to have had my parents in my life for so long. Lisa was adopted, and these murders happened right after her 5th birthday. She did go to live with her uncle, and he raised her. A little bit about the story. Don Danes drove one of the Mac Tool trucks. He was a Mac Tool salesman, and they lived in Lee's Creek. They had built their home, and Ray and Margaret, Don's parents, had an old farmhouse, and it was in the middle between Don and his brother Kenny and his family. And I would have to look at the date. I think it was 1984. I think it was 1984 when these murders happened. I was living in Columbus. I had actually worked at Mac Tools Distribution Center in Columbus. I worked in the shipping office and made sure that all the trucks were called and bills of ladings were done for all of the Mac Tool salesmen all over the country. And I just had a gut feeling when this happened. It had to do with the tools. These two men had been out drinking and smoking pot all day, driving around in the backcountry roads. And the one owed Don, I think it was less than $200. And it was the end of this happened in the spring, April, I think. Don was, going over his books and contacting people that owed him money because they needed to get paid up. And so the guy that murdered the family went to his home about 9 p.m. on a weekday and had his buddy with him. And, went to the door, and of course, Don knew him, invited him in. And, he was like, well, I'm going to pay my bills. So they went out to the truck in the driveway where Don got his book. And they slit his throat. And Don was still alive. They went back in the house. And they brutally murdered his wife and his 15-year-old son. Lisa was in bed asleep. And Rodney heard his mother's screams. And he went and got his little sister and hid her in the master bedroom closet and told her to stay there and be quiet. That's the only thing that saved her life, because actually these clowns said in court that they tried to find her too. They were going to kill her too. I'm not going to tell all about, I could tell you just about everything that happened. I remember it like yesterday. I was so afraid because I knew them very, very well. I guess I didn't tell you this part. As a family, we grew apart as I got older. My dad went to the river every weekend. Friday night after work, he was gone until Sunday night. And for a long time, Mom and I shopped. We went out of town and we were shoppers. We looked for bargains and sales, and we shopped and had lunch. And then, as I got a little bit older, teenage years, I was out with my girlfriends. So Mom shopped, Dad went to the river, and I was with my friends. We didn't fight. We just grew apart. And there's much more to the story, but my parents decided, things just weren't going too well. And my mom actually saw Ray, Don's father, out where she worked. He worked real close, real nearby. And they went out for coffee, and from there, they started seeing each other. And actually, I got married December 23rd, 1977. And Mom and Dad had talked, and Dad said, let's stay together until Tam's gone, because I was moving to Florida. And that's what they did. And Mom had already bought another place. Ray had already moved into it. They were going to get married. So that's how close I was to this family. Ray always wanted a daughter. He treated his daughter-in-laws so well. He loved them, and he spoiled them. And when I come along, he spoiled me too, even though I was in Florida. He brought Mom down to visit. I guess it was in August after we moved down there in December. But anyway, if you can get this book, I highly recommend it. It tells the entire true story. And I don't know. I thought about it last night, and I was talking to Mel about it. And I had the book out, and I thought, what am I thankful for today? And I thought, Lisa didn't have her parents except until she was just 5 years old. So I'm thankful for my parents. guys, that's our video for the day. I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll be honest with you, I've got things to do. I'm behind on everything, so I'm taking the weekend off. I ask you all, please support Patricia at Patricia's Dolly Dreams. Tomorrow is her play day Saturday. And also on Sunday is Mandy at Mandy's Cuddle Bugs. What is that? Sleepy Baby Sunday, I think. Just any baby that's snoozing. So support their channels. And I will be back next week. And stay safe, be well. And I'm not sure if Amazon has this book or not. Mom bought it locally. And I was thinking, I think I'm going to have Lisa autograph it too, and then I'll have everybody's signatures. Would have been nice if I could have got Ray's, but he has passed away. He's gone. So anyway, that's my video. Presley and I thank you so much for stopping by, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.